I would ask that you please rise for the playing of our national anthem. Here are the starters for tonight's game. First, for the visiting Augustana College Vikings, number 13, a 5'3" senior from Moline, Illinois, Cadence Tatum. A 5'9" sophomore from East Moline, Illinois, number 14, Tia Lewis. Number 21, a 6'3" senior from St. Charles East High School, Callie Papez. Number 22, a 5'7" junior from Muscatine, Iowa, Jasmariah Jones.
Okay, Stephanie.
And a 5'8" junior from Moline, Illinois, number 30, Paige Melton.
What's going on.
The Vikings are coached by Mark Beinborn. Here are the starters for your Wheaton College Thunder. Number 4, a 5'9" freshman from East Lansing, Michigan, Lydia Brogan. A 5'4" sophomore from Irvine, California, number 10, Lauren Ham. Number 22, a 5'9" junior from New Orleans, Louisiana, Petra Trumbach. A 5'10" senior from Falls Church, Virginia, number 24, Kate Oliver. And number 32, a 5'11" junior from Peatone, Illinois, Jenna Hunter. Wheaton is coached by Ken Madsen, assisted by Joanna Gutkowski and Tori Henning. Our officials, Paul Novak, Derek McCullough, and Jamila Wilson.
Okay. Let's see if we can at least hear each other through.
Okay. We can just keep them on until we hear each other. Can you hear me?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
Start talking.
We'll have a better start than our technology tonight.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
I mean, I'm down just to kind of... I don't know if we want to fully comment.
Stop. Neither one has got a headset on?
Yeah.
Start talking.
They'll probably walk over.
Okay.
Okay, I'm on one. It's your game right now. Don't worry about me. I'm going to try to get...
Yeah.
You're on. That's what's up. I'm telling you to start talking. So go ahead. We'll fix it as we can. If you guys are up, give it about 2 seconds. I'm going to bring you up over there. Because you're up.
There, we're having a little problem with our headset, but welcome to King Arena tonight. This matchup between the Augustana Vikings and the Wheaton Thunder is a key conference showdown. Augustana and the Thunder vying for that last conference spot in the tournament. Right now, the Vikings 5-7 conference record, the Thunder 4-8. But if the Thunder win here tonight, they will have that tiebreaker over Augustana.
Yeah, Drew, this game is feeling like a playoff atmosphere. Both teams are very pumped up during the warm-up. And even though we don't have a score right now, both teams are hunting for the first basket as Augustana just scores.
And that was Tia Lewis there with the mid-range floater to put the Vikings on the board to start things off here tonight. Lewis, one of the Viking scorchers, averaging 10 points per game this season. As the Thunder get into their half-court offense. Lauren Ham attempts the three. Bang! Nothing but net from beyond the arc as Lauren Ham kicks things off here for the Thunder.
Yeah, the Thunder were at 6 for 13 and with the 3-ball last game. As Callie Pepez answers back, she is going to be the #1 scorer for Augustana tonight.
And a friendly bounce from Callie Pepez, hitting the back iron and dropping in. Pepez, the leading scorer on this Viking squad, averaging 12 points per game, as well as 3 offensive rebounds per game, which leads the CCIW as Lydia Brogan off the mark on that three-pointer. Vikings make an early substitution. So it looks like that's number 10, Julia Milazzo, all the way from Spain, coming in to bring the ball up for the Vikings. Neither of these teams particularly high scoring. Vikings average 64 points per game. Thunder average 56. And that's a nice pass from Lewis on the pass to Pepez. She misses, gets her own offensive rebound, and is fouled.
Yeah, Callie Pepez she's listed at 6'3", which is taller than any of the Wheaton players, and so they were going to have to play some tough defense against her without fouling her tonight.
And as I already mentioned, Pepez leading the CCIW with 3 offensive rebounds per game. She hits that first free throw there. This is her 3rd season in a row averaging over 7 rebounds per game. Very consistent. So far, she's scored in double digits 13 times this season. Also has 5 double-doubles. 4 of those double-doubles came with over 14 rebounds. Petra Trumbeck with the rip-through dribble, drawing the foul off Tia Lewis. Trumbeck will head to the line here. You see Trumbeck just splitting the defenders, trying to lay it in. Doesn't quite get it to go, but is heading to the free throw line. And the last time these two teams played, the Thunder had 25 fouls. The Vikings had 21. It was an extremely chippy game. And Trumbeck hits the first, but the second clangs off the iron. Now here come the Vikings. This is Paige Melton passing it in to Pepez. Pepez to Lewis. Milazzo drives, scoops, no good. Trumbeck pulls down the rebound. She swings it out to Oliver on the wing. Oliver to Brogan. Brogan with the layup. Off the backboard and in. As the Thunder tie things up early with some nice passing in transition. The refs appear to miss a potential Milazzo travel there. As here comes Lewis, guarded by Oliver, off Lewis's foot. And that'll be the Vikings' first turnover of the evening.
Yeah, Coach Madsen wasn't happy about that no call, but Wheaton still gets the ball back after some really nice defense right there.
Lewis got some nice position there. The Viking size could cause some matchup problems here for the Thunder, as both Tia Lewis and Callie Pepez both like to play inside, and the Thunder breaking the press. Brogan, though, misses the layup. The ball bounces around a little bit, and that's Milton pulling down the rebound. Swings it up ahead. Pass inside, stolen by Brogan. Now Oliver picks it up. The Thunder already looking to get out in transition. Oliver gets it to Ham. Ham for 3, bang! Her second 3 of the night. On a pass from Oliver, that puts the Thunder up 3 early in the first quarter.
Yeah, that Wheaton bench jumped up and screamed at that Lauren Ham 3. They are fired up tonight, Drew.
Now here's Lewis for the jumper, off the mark. The rebound pulled down by Milazzo, though. The Vikings lead the CCIW in rebounding margin this season. On average, they get 5.4 more rebounds per game than their opponent, already showing that early here tonight. Lewis sets a screen for Melton. Melton looks, shoots, off the glass, no good. Lydia Brogan pulls down the rebound. She's looking to get ahead in transition. She's going to kick it out to Ham. Ham for three. No good, but Ham gets her own rebound, and the floater is short. Ham with some chances there, but can't quite get him to go. And now Milazzo bring the ball up. Uses a screen by Lewis to drive inside. Off the rim and in. An aggressive play by Milazzo, driving and slicing through traffic to get to the hoop.
Yeah, the Vikings really like to shoot inside the paint. They scored 30 points in the paint last game, even though they lost.
And there's Oliver drawing the foul off Jazz Mariah Jones. Oliver gets to the line more than anyone else on this Wheaton Thunder team. She has 101 free throw attempts this season. Next closest person is Jenna Hunter with 37. An early timeout here called. And the reason why this is such a big matchup for the Thunder and Vikings team is basically, I mentioned earlier, the Vikings have a one-game conference lead. If the Thunder win this, then they'll be tied with the Vikings in the standings. And since the Thunder already lost to the Vikings earlier this season, they'll both have a 1-1 record against each other. So that goes to the next tiebreaker in the CCIW, which is record against the top team in the CCIW standings. The only problem is, when you look at the top team in the CCIW standings, that would be Carroll, and both teams have 0 wins against Carroll. Next team is Illinois Wesleyan. Both teams have 0 wins. North Central, both of these teams actually have 1 win and 1 loss against them, so still a tie. Moving on again to Elmhurst. Neither team has beaten Elmhurst, but then you look at the 5th team in the standings right above Augustana, and that's Carthage. Wheaton beat Carthage earlier in the season, then lost, and Carthage so far has only lost Augie so far has only lost to Carthage, but they'll play each other this Saturday. And if Augie loses tonight and loses on Saturday, then the Thunder will have the advantage in the standings.
Yes, and Wheaton arguably, Drew, has the easier schedule. After this, both of them play Illinois Wesleyan, which will be a tough game for both teams, but Wheaton will play Milliken and North Park, who are at the bottom of the CCIW standings. So obviously, no game is easy in the CCIW, but things look to be a little easier for Wheaton should they win here tonight.
That's a great point. Illinois Wesleyan, a top 25 team, but North Park and Milliken, as you mentioned, are at the bottom as Oliver misses that first free throw. She's usually a pretty good shooter, shoots 78% on the season. She hits the second one. That'll give the Thunder a 2-point advantage here as Lily Cato comes in for Oliver. And another substitution as Chloe Koska comes in for Petra Trumbach. Also, it looks like Grace Kaiser is in for the Thunder, so a lot of substitutions early. Some substitutions for Augustana. Audrey Erickson, who's starting most of the games this season, coming off the bench in this one. Also, Carly Stone is in for the Vikings. And the pass, a nice find on the block for Cadence Tatum. 5'3" senior out of Moline, Illinois. And that'll tie this game up. The Thunder looking to respond. Koska with it. Pass to Brogan. Brogan sees an opportunity with the left hand. No good, but she draws a foul. It's the Vikings' 3rd shooting foul of the night.
Yeah, Wheaton's going to have to remain aggressive offense if they want to win here tonight, especially with Grace Kaiser being the tallest player on the floor against 6'3" Callie Pepez.
Brogan hits the first one, and you look at the rest of Augustana's schedule. They play Illinois Wesleyan like Wheaton, but then they have a matchup against Elmhurst, who's a bit of a tougher team, as well as Carthage, so they definitely have a harder schedule than the Thunder, but as you said, nothing is guaranteed in the CCIW. Pass inside, kick out. This will be Erickson for 3, bang! Audrey Erickson finding her way onto the score sheet here. She's the 2nd leading scorer on this Vikings squad, averaging 10.9 points per game. She's also the leading 3-point shooter, shooting 23 for 69, which is a perfect 33%. Lily Cato now drives out to Ham. Ham crosses up, but loses control of the ball. And that's going to be a jump ball, as that was Cadence Tatum who dove for that ball. And now it looks like Audrey Erickson, the sophomore out of Silvis, Illinois. Little shaken up there. Looks like she might have hit her face on the floor, but she's able to get back up with no problem. Now Oliver is going to sub in for Lauren Ham, it looks like. We talk about Kate Oliver. She's such a key piece on this Wheaton team. Only scorer on the Thunder in double digits this season. And it seems like the Thunder almost require her to have a good game for them to win. It's Brogan with the pump fake, the dribble, the shot, the friendly bounce off the rim as Brogan starting off hot with 6 points. 2 games ago against Carthage, she set her career high with 11 points. Already on pace to get that here tonight. And here's a drive from Tatum. No good. The Thunder able to pull down the rebound as it's Grace Kaiser. Now Oliver looking up. Not seeing any openings. Getting into Brogan here. Brogan, guard by Erickson. Kaiser for 3. Just short. And the rebound will be pulled down by Milazzo, but Cato almost able to steal it. And that's going to be a timeout called by the Vikings as they were in danger of turning the ball over. And I already mentioned the fouls from the last time these two teams played each other. I'm sure you know this, Stephanie. They also turned the ball over 30 times each the last time they played each other. 30 turnovers for both teams, 60 turnovers in a game. That's a pretty crazy statistic.
Yeah, and they're hoping to avoid that tonight. Yeah, obviously when you keep the ball in your hands, you always rest a little safer in each possession. And so Wheaton does have 3 players with 40-plus steals on the year, which is quite impressive. And so they're going to be looking to cause 30 turnovers for Augustana tonight, but let's hope that they can keep that rock safe.
Talk about
Drew or
steals,
Stephanie,
Cato
if you can
in the
hear
game right now,
each
almost
other,
got that
give me a
steal last
thumbs up to
time
the iPad.
The Thunder played the Vikings. She had 7
thumbs
steals
down
on the night, but of course in that game it seemed like everyone had at least 3 or 4 steals based on how many turnovers there were.
Yeah, that was a really tough game against Augustana. Just a couple quarters where shots weren't falling and they weren't making good shot selection, but they're already looking stronger here tonight.
The Vikings with possession. That ball is tipped by Oliver, but pass gets to Erickson regardless. Erickson spins, dribbles, working on Cato, and that ball is tapped away by Kaiser. Kaiser interfering with the hands, gets it to Oliver. Oliver back to Kaiser. Kaiser finds herself wide open under the hoop and is able to lay it in. Some great court vision from Kate Oliver.
Yeah, what a pass
She's one
by
of the
Oliver.
leading assisters on this Thunder team.
Sorry, Drew. What a pass by Oliver on that one.
That was a potential cut leading to a bucket there. Nice pass from Callie Pepez, but it goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Thunder. Vikings here struggling to find someone. Ball is again tipped by Oliver, but gets to Pepez. Now Tatum working on the screen and roll, but Hunter gets in the middle of that. Another steal for the Thunder, and that's going to be a foul by Tatum as Oliver tries to work her way up the court. And already 4 turnovers for the Vikings. The Thunder, on the other hand, doing a very good job taking care of the ball. 0 turnovers for them.
Yeah, and Kate looks like she is playing with a little extra aggression today. She was looking to drive, and it's going to be a great game for Wheaton if Kate Oliver can get hot.
And it talked about the scenarios where if the Thunder win this game, they have a chance of making the CCIW tournament, but if they lose, they find themselves 2 games behind Augustana, who's the last team in, and that all but eliminates them from this tournament. So this is a must-win game for the Thunder as Hunter goes up, but it's blocked by Pepez. Cato comes down with the rebound. Kaiser pulls the 3. It's long off the back iron. Rebound pulled down by Pepez. Gets it to Tatum. Tatum has been the point guard the last couple years in this Vikings team. She has seen a reduction in minutes, though, this season as some sophomores have been getting more playing time instead. Here's Paige Melton. She gets the most minutes on this Vikings team. She puts it up around the rim and in. Paige Melton fighting through the contact throwing it up over her right shoulder. That's going to be a foul on Chloe Koska as Milton has a chance to tie this game up. Milton knocks it down. And this game is tied at 16, a pretty high scoring first quarter, given that the score of that matchup when these two teams first played was 56-42. Oliver draws the foul, and she'll be heading to the line for 2. Yet another shooting foul by this Vikings squad. The Thunder already 4 for 6 from the line here in the first quarter.
Yeah, and that's 2 fouls on Callie Papez right there in the first quarter alone. A reminder, she is their best scoring option, and so if Wheaton can get her out of the game early, this is where they're going to need to take advantage.
Absolutely. Papez with 2 fouls this early could be a game changer. And you go back to the last game, I mentioned both teams had a lot of fouls. Looking at my numbers here, Callie Papez did actually foul out last game as well.
Yeah, and then as a team against Carroll, Augustana's last game, they had 17 personal fouls compared to 8 by Carroll. So that, I think, was a huge game changer.
And Lewis posting up here, working on Hunter with the fadeaway teardrop. Lewis with some fancy post work. And she's been really effective in that role for the Vikings. She's shooting 46% from the field this season. One of the better marks in this Vikings team. As now the Thunder find themselves down 1. Probably their last offensive possession as Cato working around Lewis. That layup doesn't quite fall. And now the Vikings, no shot clock, can wait and take the last shot here. You see Coach Mark Beinborn mentioning to his team 1. Milazzo here, stalling around half court, gets it to Melton. Melton's gonna get a screen from Lewis here. Drives, nowhere to go, good defense by Oliver. Melton looking, puts up the jumper off the backboard, but no good. And an action-packed first quarter here as the Vikings lead the Thunder by 1 in this CCIW matchup. And Stephanie, what do you see there in the first quarter?
Yeah, I saw Wheaton being really aggressive, which I think that is always...
Every corner of Wheaton College holds a story of growth. The Wheaton Fund is at the heart of these stories, transforming lives for Christ and His kingdom. The Wheaton Fund is more than just financial support. It is the financial lifeblood of Wheaton College, empowering every aspect of our mission.
Your contributions to the Wheaton Fund ensure that the students, faculty, and staff have the resources they need to thrive and make an impact for Christ. Your contributions assist in supporting spiritual formation through chapel and small groups, providing financial aid through need-based and academic scholarships, enriching faculty with competitive salaries and development opportunities, enhancing career development through the Center for Vocation and Career, equipping athletics with essential resources, strengthening campus ministries with training, support staff, and mission opportunities, improving facilities to create a better learning environment, and enhancing academic services to support every student's education. By supporting the Wheaton Fund, you help shape the future of Wheaton College and its students. Join us in empowering the next generation of Wheaties to build the church and benefit society.
Welcome back to the second quarter of play between the Vikings and Thunder. We saw an action-packed first half, and the Vikings have a 1-point advantage as there's a pass that's tipped out of bounds by Cato. And Stephanie, what were your thoughts in that first half?
Yeah, I thought that was an extremely strong quarter by Wheaton. Obviously, as we mentioned, no turnovers, which is huge. And they're playing aggressive on offense, which is what I like to see.
Yeah, no turnovers for the Thunder is indeed huge, given that they turned over 30 times in last game, in the last time they played the Vikings, as did the Vikings. And Oliver gets the rebound there with some nice defense on Belton. Cato gets it to Brogan. Brogan looks, pass out to Hunter for the wide open jumper. Hunter knocks it down. And the Thunder were only shooting 5 for 14 from the field in that first quarter. Not a great field goal percentage, but they kept themselves in it by getting to the free throw line. At 8 free throw attempts, they made 5 of them. That's kept them competitive so far. Now, Vikings get inside to Lewis. Lewis is going to work on Hunter. But Hunter with some solid defense. Now Melton swings it out to Tatum. That ball is tipped by Oliver. And Tatum chucks it up. It's no good. The rebound was pulled down there by Jazz Mariah Jones. And it's unclear what the call is going to be here. As the referees discussing it, it looks like it could have been a shooting foul.
Yes, but that shot clock also was at 0, so I think they're probably debating what happened first.
And the referees are going to rule the shot clock violation, as you said. And another turnover for the Vikings. And that's 5 for them in the game so far compared to Wheaton 0. And that's going to be a thing to look out for as we get further into this game. How well these teams can take care of the ball. It's now Oliver trying to use Hunter to get in the lane to the basket. Now Brogan into Hunter. Hunter's going to work on Lewis. Fakes. And that's going to be a travel as it looks like Hunter picked up her pivot foot just a little bit.
Yeah, there's Wheaton's first turnover. Yeah, unfortunately, Hunter was just doing a little bit too much trying to move in the paint to work her way for a shot. So good defense by Augustana.
Jones gets it to Milazzo. Milazzo out to Melton. Melton on the free throw line. Finds Jones. Jones swarmed by 3 Wheaton defenders, but she's able to get it out. But the Thunder able to recover. Now Oliver on Melton. 5 seconds left to go on the shot clock. Melton switched on to by Brogan. Melton puts up a shot, and it's off the glass and in. The
yeah, that
bank
was incredible.
is open.
Sorry, Drew.
4-page Melton. And as you said, that was an incredible play.
Yeah, sorry, people back home, we are having a slight technical difficulties on our side. We can't hear each other, so I think I cut Drew off a couple times. But anyhow, yes, great defense by Wheaton on that, but very beautiful shot by Melton.
Now the Thunder back on offense. Oliver trying to figure out where to go with it. She's going to pull up for 2. That's long. That the rebound pulled down, and that is one statistical advantage that the Vikings did have in that first quarter. They out-rebounded the Thunder 12-6. As I mentioned, they're first in the CCIW in rebounding margin this season. And there's Milazzo putting up a shot, hits the backboard, and not much else. Hunter pulls down the rebound, gets it to Cato. Cato pushing it up the floor. He's going to stop. Find Hunter inside. Hunter puts up the shot, but rejected by Tia Lewis. It was a nice find by Cato, but Lewis read that perfectly. Return to sender. Now Oliver finding Hunter. Hunter is going to look for Oliver, but a bit of miscommunication there. Another turnover for the Thunder.
Hunter looks a little frustrated after getting her shot rejected and then making a bad pass to Oliver, who clearly wasn't looking for it. But if Wheaton can just get back on defense, they're still only down by a point.
Milazzo finds Lewis. Lewis at the top of the arc. She drives. And that's going to be a travel called on Lewis as she took some extra steps there. It was a nice move, but she definitely picked up her pivot foot at least once on that play. Now Lauren Ham is going to bring the ball up. Sophomore out of Irvine, California. Kicks out to Trumbach. Now Oliver finds Ham. Ham for 3. Bang! Her third 3 of the evening, and Coach Beinborn of the Vikings immediately calls a timeout, looking a little frustrated with that one as Ham's already hit 2 and the Vikings know that, but they just left her wide open on that shot.
Yeah, no, Lauren Ham already at 9 points for tonight's game, and we're not even halfway through the second quarter. This is hopefully going to be a really, really good night for her. And if the Wheaton can keep shooting the 3 ball like they're doing right now and what they did last game, they have a really solid chance of pulling away.
Absolutely, and Wheaton not usually a very good 3-point shooting team this season. In fact, in the CCIW, they're last in the conference with a 27.6% 3-point percentage, but tonight they're 3 for 6, and that's really thanks to Lauren Ham. She's hit all 3. And you look at the scoring tonight for the Thunder. Ham has 9 points off those 3 3-pointers. Lydia Brogan has 6 points. So the underclassmen carrying the scoring so far for the Thunder tonight. Kate Oliver, who's usually the leading scorer for this Thunder team, has been struggling a little bit as of late. She's averaging only about 8.25 points per game over the last 4 games, which is a lot lower than usual because over the season she's averaging 12.8.
Yeah, but she did have a quiet 14 points in the last game, which included hitting some free throws late in the game against... Oh my gosh, I'm blanking. I think they played Carthage last game.
North Central. Carthage was the game before that.
Sorry, North Central. I'm so
totally
sorry. But no, anyways, Kate only quote 14 points last game, but they were key to Wheaton winning.
And that goes back to what we were saying before. The Thunder usually require Oliver to have a good game for them to pull out a win. She's their main win condition. And now here's the drive, short off the rim. It was Audrey Erickson, sophomore out of Silvis, Illinois. No good though. Oliver, season opening, drives off the glass. No. But that's going to be a foul called on the floor. That's going to be on number 22, Jazz Mariah Jones.
I mean, I thought she pretty clearly hit Oliver's arm going up for that rebound.
And now Oliver with the jumper, way off. Cold start here for Oliver. 0 for 3 from the field. Her only points have come from free throws, but she's only shooting 2 for 4 from the line, which is a little lower than usual for her. Lewis now hands it off to Erickson. Erickson working on Trumbach with some crossover moves. Lewis will pull the 3. No good. Trumbach comes down with the rebound. She's been on fire, pulling down rebounds recently. In fact, in the last game against North Central. Oh, and there's a foul there. And it's going the other way. It's going to be an offensive foul on Trumbach. As I was saying, Trumbach actually leading the team in rebounds this season, averaging 5.6 per game.
Yeah, as one of our other commentators, Tyler said she may be 5'9", but she plays like she's 6'4", and she has hops.
Trumbach, one of those players in the Thunder that does a lot of the so-called dirty work. She leads the team in rebounds, but she also ties for leading the team in steals and leads the team in assists. So one of those key cogs that makes this team go. She started 75% of the games this season. There's another turnover from the Vikings. Is Hunter able to get the steal there? Things have slowed down a little bit offensively here in the second quarter as both teams settling in. That happened in the last time these two teams played as well. Now Trumbach is going to try to use the screen from Hunter, but Melton slipped around it. And here's Brogan with the drive. The finish no good, as some solid defense from Erickson with the contest on that shot.
Yeah, been tough for Wheaton these last couple of minutes. They've been playing such excellent defense, but just the finishing right now hasn't quite been on point.
Milazzo gets it to Melton. Vikings are going to swing it around. 8 on the shot clock. Try to find Melton inside, but the ball is tipped away by Trumbach. That leaves 5 seconds left on the shot clock for the Vikings as we got some substitutions here. We got Carly Stone, the senior out of Beaverton, Oregon, coming in, as well as Cadence Tatum back in the game. Tatum so far leading the Vikings with 2 assists, and there's Oliver tipping it and getting it. And then she's going to get a fast break layup and make a nice defensive play. And that's exactly what she's been so good at all season, just the athleticism and defensive instincts and creating those opportunities to get some more points on offense. Pepes is going to set a screen for Tatum here. Tatum kicks it out to Milazzo. Milazzo, that 3 is no good from Stone, but the rebound's going to get pulled down by Tatum. Her putback is no good though. Now here's Brogan. Gets it back to Oliver. Oliver having a great all-around game so far. 4 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. She's going to drive. Put it off the backboard is no good. Trying to fight through the contact, but ultimately some nice defense from the Vikings forcing her out of the lane. But another steal as Trumbach pokes that away right into Oliver's waiting hands. Oliver swings it over to Brogan. The Thunder are going to reset, get into their half-court offense. Hunter's going to come up, set a screen for Ham. Brogan carries it through with a powerful finish, slicing through 2 Vikings defenders. She now has 8 points on the night.
Yeah, Augustana's bench wanted to travel on that, but we honestly couldn't see from here. But nice move by Brogan.
This is the Thunder's largest lead of the game, 26-20. A little less than 3 minutes left to go in the second quarter. And they're going to try to get it into Pepez, but no one there. Well, she was there, but Hunter was also there, and she was able to get the steal. You saw the Thunder defenders just all collapsed around Pepez. They're aware of the threat that she can be inside. Well defended. And now Oliver's going to pull the 3. No good. Rebound pulled down by Milazzo. Milazzo pushing up to transition. Is able to find Tatum, and Tatum lays it in. It didn't seem like there was much there for the Vikings, but the Thunder allowing that back cut from Tatum and some nice momentum from the Vikings getting up in transition. Ham crossovers, fakes, no good. Ball's poked out to Oliver though. Oliver's gonna attempt the long 2, nothing but net. As Oliver's starting to feel it now after getting a couple of those steals. Previously she'd been shooting 1 for 6, that puts her at 2 for 7. And Pepez there, able to get it off the pass from Stone. That's exactly what the Vikings want to do, and that's what the Thunder want to avoid having happen.
Yeah, Drew, and also Wheaton is looking tired out there. I think their defense to offense transitions has just been so good. Obviously, with all those steals, they're all looking a little tired and hoping that Kaiser and Cato, when they get on, can bring some energy.
And Trumbach's going to get whistled for an offensive foul there as Cadence Tatum draws the charge. It's going to be 2 fouls on Trumbach. And that's a good call as Tatum stood her ground and Trumbach with a little too much offensive contact there. Now a lot of subs for both teams. Pretty much half the people there on the court are now off.
It's an intense game, right, Drew? It almost feels like this is a playoff match because both teams desperately want to win tonight.
Absolutely, as Lewis gets it in here and uses her size to get into the post, laid in for 2. Had a bit of a mismatch there on Grace Kaiser. Now less than a minute left to go. The Thunder with a 2-point advantage. Cato drives, and it's blocked by Lewis. Lewis pulls down the rebound. That's the second block of the game for Lewis. As now Erickson kicks it out. The layup from Sierra Hole, sophomore out of Silvis, Illinois, is good, and this game is tied up. Wheaton was able to extend the lead to 6, but now the Vikings have fought back and tied it up. Ham thought about the 3, but was well guarded by Hole. Ham gets it to Paige for Werda, her first time checking in the game, and that's going to be a travel by Lily Cato as she took a couple of steps before she put the ball down.
Yeah, I think picked up that. I think Cato set her pivot foot as her left and unfortunately shifted to her right while she still had the ball.
And now the Vikings with the last shot of the half. As Erickson here taking her time, gets it to Lewis. Lewis immediately triple teamed. And that's going to be a moving screen on Lewis. The jumper from Erickson would have been good. But they're going to roll a moving screen on Lewis. That's another turnover for the Vikings. That makes 11 for this half. And now the Thunder with 3 seconds left. For Werda looking, gets it to Cato. Cato gonna put it up, and it's off to the right. As this intense CCIW conference game heads into both teams head into the locker room, tied up Take a look in the stats here. Wheaton has a significant disadvantage in field goal percentage, but they were able to get to the line and also only turn the ball over 4 times compared to the Vikings 11. It was an exciting first half. We'll be back for more after the break.
In the beginning, God created. He created them. As God's image bearers, we are offered a sacred opportunity to reflect God's attributes. Through His inspiration, we embark on a journey of discovery, learning how He has gifted us to imagine, experiment, and explore. We embrace the mystery of the yet to be and seek to bring the unknown to light. These acts of creativity reflect our Maker, and so we become His reflections. Author, sculptor, weaver, orchestrator, gardener, craftsman, designer. And yet, we ourselves are unfinished works, being developed, inspired, and supported. To lean into these creative endeavors, we must practice vulnerability, vision, discipline, and commitment. While art often emerges quickly, it takes a lifetime to achieve the works that God has for us. The creator's journey requires both collaboration and solitude, time for rough ideas and polished performances. Artists have a special calling to articulate God's glory for the world to experience and understand through a human lens. This is the sacred call that compels us to live for Christ and His kingdom. At Wheaton, you will find a Christ-centered community of artistic and academic excellence. It is a grace-filled campus that is designed to nurture your skills and scholarship to pursue His calling. Whether you're in the classroom, the art studio, on stage, in chapel, alone, or with close friends, you'll flourish at Wheaton College. Consider your artistic potential and how it could change the world. How has God called you to reflect His glory? Explore the arts at Wheaton and rise to your God-given potential.
One of the things that drew me to Wheaton was how much the students, staff, and faculty support each other in music and as people. And that's not something that I see as much at the collegiate level, and I think that has to speak volumes for how strong faith is here in the college and the community of students and faculty and staff all working together to communicate and support each other, and that was one of the things that drew me here, was seeing that environment. Being music, there's such a high standard, and I feel like a lot of times we strive for this idea of perfection and performance, which puts almost an unachievable expectation on ourselves. And it's really the beauty in the imperfections, or the beauty in what makes us human, that can make the music really special, which is why, we don't have robots playing the French horn. We have people playing the French horn. And I found that environment very naturally here at Wheaton. Already existing was this community of people who love and support each other and lift each other up. And that's what I really, really like about teaching here and working with the students at Wheaton. When I first came to rehearsal and I heard all of the hard work the students were putting in to make music, I was honestly impressed and kind of shocked. I think it is a smaller community, but the playing level and the expectation levels are very high here, which is fantastic for these musicians for their growth. And they get to perform in an ensemble that is professional quality with faculty as mentors who are really working with them to grow and to meet the expectations and demands of the music that they're working on. The repertoire the college chooses for the ensembles is what we play in professional ensembles, and I think that's a really great experience for them and invaluable in preparing them for life outside of college. I will be performing Mozart's Third Horn Concerto for horn in E-flat major, and I will be performing on a historic instrument, which is this one right here. And this instrument actually has a couple different names. It's called the natural horn, the classical horn, and sometimes called the hand horn. During the classical era, this instrument does not have valves because valves were not yet invented. So during Mozart's time, all of the music that was written for horn is written using the harmonic series of the instruments, which is all of the available notes on the open instrument. So as you can imagine, it's not a full chromatic scalar, not even scalar, really. So partway through the 1700s, there's a man named Anton Joseph Hampel, who is credited with inventing, or rather developing, the hand horn or hand stopping technique, which is where instead of using our valves on our left hand, like normally we would on our modern instruments, we use our right hand in the bell in different positions to change the pitch of the horn. So we can get a full scalar or a full chromatic scale on the horn.
This isn't a traditional college orientation. It's a rite of passage. You're entering a new season of life where the terrain is unfamiliar, the path uncharted, the friendships not yet formed.
You ready?
It's a time to explore, to learn new skills, to build connections, embrace uncertainty, navigate challenges, and discover your limits. But never alone, because together you'll walk alongside him.
All right, you ready?
This is so much more than a college orientation. You're becoming a new person in a new season, one of adventure, transition, and Christ-centered community. So consider this your invitation to Wheaton Passage.
You ready?
You're ready.
When I came to Wheaton, I felt welcome. I felt the students loved one another. This was a place where I can really see myself growing. It was like, it just felt like home.
Wheaton will make you aware of how important community is.
I couldn't feel alone because people were just always around me, encouraging me.
When people are connected with others, you can't help but be joyful.
Wheaton will help you grow in your relationship with Jesus.
I get to learn things through the lens of my faith.
Wheaton will surprise you.
Wheaton students are really focused on excellence, all framed within the view of service.
To be here where it's okay to ask the hard questions, I think has kept me walking with the Lord.
We're called to be servant leaders as Christians just because anything that we gain on this earth is not our personal gain. It's all because of Jesus.
Wheaton matters because we will produce students who are more like Jesus than when they first came into college.
There's so many essential pieces of what it means to be human encapsulated here at Wheaton.
What makes Wheaton home, for me at least, is really just the people.
The people I met here made Wheaton home.
It actually feels like home.
It just felt like home.
Wheaton will feel like home.
Wheaton will change your life. Get comfortable. This place is amazing.
Going to a Christian college was important to me because I wanted that community of like-minded believers.
Being free to express my spiritual journey really helped me grow and foster a strong relationship with God.
Wheaton was willing to meet me where I was at in my faith journey. I was able to search for answers here, and they had answers to give me.
I thought coming to Wheaton that I would meet just a bunch of Christians who were like me. So when I got here, I was really surprised to find so many Christians from so many different walks of life who relate to God and worship in very different ways.
Being able to realize the uniqueness of my faith while still recognizing beauty in other people's has been the most impactful way that my studies have shaped my Christian faith.
My faith has been enriched in more ways than I could have imagined here at Wheaton. I will continue to serve Christ, whether it be overseas ministry or whether it be administration in a church. I'm excited to continue to walk through those doors.
I knew that I wanted to be a part of a community where I could grow in my faith with other people who have the same goals in mind as me. Wheaton will grow you spiritually and will give you community that really does want to walk alongside you. That's not just something that they throw on their taglines. Like, in my experience, that's something that's actually lived out here.
Welcome back to the second half of action between the Wheaton Thunder and the Augustana Vikings. This is a pretty significant conference matchup because if the Thunder win, they'll be tied with the Vikings in conference record in terms of that. And they have the tiebreaker according to something that's a little complicated, but both teams here fighting for that conference spot, the last spot in the conference tournament. We'll take a look at the stats from the first half here. The Vikings shot much better from the field, but as you can see there, the Thunder only turned it over 4 times to the Vikings 11, and you can see that bottom stat there, 12 points off those turnovers. That ended up being pretty huge.
Yeah, because as Drew mentioned during halftime, Augustana has scored 20 out of their 28 points in the paint, meaning Wheaton needs to keep them out of the paint, make them shoot long twos or even the three ball. They're not exceptionally good at that. But yeah, Augustana, I think, just needs to tighten up on defense and force Wheaton to make some tougher shots.
Augustana, if you're just joining us, coming into this game, having lost their last 2 conference matchups against North Central and Carroll. The Thunder, on the other hand, beat North Central in their last matchup, which snapped the 3-game conference losing streak that the Thunder had. As Kate Oliver drives off the glass, no good. And that rebound is pulled down by Paige Melton. And that's another statistical disparity in that first half, was rebounding. As the ball gets to Pepez here, she puts it up, no good. The Vikings bench crying out for a foul, but none was called. The Vikings out-rebounded the Thunder 21-15 in the first half. It's one of their strengths this season as a team. Now Oliver here in the corner. He's going to use a screen from Hunter. Open lane, goes up, no good. Trumbach goes up, but that ball is blocked pretty easily by Kaylee Pepez. Didn't even have to jump there. Pepez just put her hands up and rejected.
Yeah, unfortunately there, I think Wheaton just didn't make a super great shot selection. Kate kind of dribbled into traffic, and then Trumbach tried to put up a shot that was easily blocked.
That was Jazz Mariah Jones there on the drive, drawing the foul off Trumbach. That's Trumbach's 3rd foul. And you got to wonder, yep, there's Grace Kaiser coming in to sub her out early. Jones nets the free throw. It's her first point of the game.
Yeah,
Jazz Mariah Jones is tied for the most threes on the team with 17 this year. This isn't much of a three-point shooting team, but she's shooting 32%. She's also started all the games for this Vikings team. Been a pretty key piece in the starting lineup. Now Hunter getting it to Oliver. Thunder trying to find an opening in this Augustana defense, one of the best defenses in the CCIW. Kaiser with an open 3, and it rattles home. Grace Kaiser, the first Thunder player not named Lauren Ham to hit a 3 tonight. And that ball is thrown way up court by Cadence Tatum. Not sure what Tatum saw there, because it looks like that was going for Pepez, but Pepez was pretty heavily guarded. But it'll still be Vikings basketball. As the drive from Melton, the shot's no good, but Kate Oliver with the foul. That's her 2nd of the night. You talk about foul trouble. Lewis, Pepez, and Jones for the Vikings all have 2 fouls right now. So you gotta wonder if they can have a foul here earlier in this 3rd quarter where they'll be subbed out. Melton able to knock down both those free throws. It's been a pretty close game so far. There was 9 lead changes in the first half along with 4 ties. The last time these 2 teams played, the Vikings won 58-46 as they stifled the Thunder in the 2nd and 3rd quarters. The Thunder only scored 11 points in both of those quarters. That's going to be a foul on Jazz Mariah Jones off ball. It's a little too much contact there from the junior out of Iowa.
Yeah, that's her 3rd foul. Both Wheaton and Augustana's number 22s have been subbed off because of 3 fouls.
Yeah, that's Jones' 3rd, and she gets subbed out. Kaiser feeling good, pulls the 3. Long off the back iron. Lewis comes down with the rebound.
That was a good look by Grace. Unfortunately, just didn't find the net.
And here's the jumper. No good, off the mark from Pepez. And now Brogan gets it to Oliver. Oliver so far tonight has spent most of the time handling the ball for the Thunder. And now Brogan puts it up off the backboard. Not quite there as Lewis pulls down yet another rebound. That's her 7th of the night. She's got 6 points and 7 rebounds. Carly Stone swings it over to Tatum. They're trying to find Lewis or Pepez inside, but unable to do it as Hunter is doing a very nice job of fronting Pepez. Now only 6 left in the shot clock. The drive from Tatum. Her shot, no good. Lydia Brogan pulls down the rebound. Thunder gonna slow down as Oliver with the crossover and puts it up, and it rattles home. Oliver had a bit of a cold first half, only shot 2 for 8 from the field, 2 for 4 from the free throw line, but that's her first basket of the second half and ties the game up here at 32. Pepez sneaks that pass through his Thunder arms to Lewis, and then Lewis is fouled by Lauren Ham. Substitution for Augustana. It's Julia Milazzo coming in for Cadence Tatum. Milazzo with the pump fake, gets around Oliver, goes for the reverse layup, but I think that's going to be a foul on the floor as Brogan with the foul this time, and that's already the Thunder's 4th team foul of this quarter, which puts the Vikings in the bonus.
Yeah, Wheaton loves to play with such defensive intensity. I think it gets them in trouble quite often.
And that ball was tipped by Oliver. Her second steal of the night. She averages 2 per game, leading the Thunder squad. Creating yet another turnover for this Vikings squad. It's been a tough thing for them all night. And that's going to be a foul on Paige Melton as Brogan got that pass from Oliver, and honestly, I didn't see too much extra contact there, but regardless, Brogan going to the line with a chance to put the Thunder ahead.
Yeah, the whistle seems to be blowing a little bit more loosely this quarter for both teams, which will be interesting.
Brogan splits that pair of free throw attempts. Thunder shooting 6 for 10 from the line tonight. The Vikings, on their hand, shooting a very impressive 7 for 7. As the Vikings find Lewis inside now, she's going to work on Kaiser with the turnaround jumper and one. Lewis hits a tough fadeaway shot from about the free throw line.
I think she caught her on the elbow.
Yeah, it looks like Kaiser caught her on the arm, and Lewis and Pepez have been causing some matchup problems for the Thunder tonight. Lewis with 8 points, Pepez with 6. But the first missed free throw of the night belongs to Lewis, as the Vikings now have a 1-point lead. And that ball's turned over by Hunter as Melton got in the middle of that pass. Now Melton's going to drive, probably traveled. And that ball's going to be blocked out of bounds, though, by Brogan.
What a good recovery by Brogan on that play. She knew that the fast break was coming and set her feet and was able to block that. Beautiful.
Now here's Audrey Erickson in the game for the Vikings. Hunter fell over a little bit on that steal attempt. Lewis is going to get into the lane and finish with a nice reverse scoop. A creative finish in the lane for Lewis. She's the first player tonight here in double digits with 10 points. It's the 13th time she's scored in double digits this season. Hunter is going to post up Lewis. Lewis solid on defense. 5 on the shot clock. Oliver drives. And that's going to be an arm bar call on Julia Milazzo. As Oliver was driving in here. Honestly, it didn't look like too much of a foul, but the Thunder will be inbound with 20 seconds left in the shot clock. And talk about going into this game, Augustana is trying to beat the Thunder for the second time in a row in King Arena since 1984, so it's been a long time. So the Thunder playing for a lot here.
Yeah, I think, Drew, they're both starting off a little slower than they would have liked, especially Wheaton. I think they're getting a little stagnant on offense. A lot more passing the ball around the outside of the arc, but not a lot of cuts in, and they're having to make really tough shots.
And that's similar to what happened last game. Last game, the score for the first quarter was, I believe, 19-18, but then both teams slowed down a lot, and it was the Thunder who slowed down a lot more, only able to put up one made field goal in the third quarter last time these two teams played. And if you're just tuning in, this is a really important game because Augustana is sitting in 6th place in the CCIW, which is the last tournament spot, 5-8 conference. Oh, I'm sorry, 5-7 conference record. Wheaton's one spot below them at 4-8. If Wheaton wins, these two teams will be tied in conference play. And when you go through the tiebreakers, it's based off these two teams' record against the top team in the conference, then moving down. They have the same record against the top 4 teams in the conference, but the 5th team, Carthage, Wheaton is 1-1 against Carthage, and Augie is 0-1. They play Carthage on Saturday, though, so they could make that 1-1, and then it would be a different tiebreaker. But Oliver, nice find for Hunter, but Hunter not quite able to finish, but she's able to get a steal. That's her 4th steal of the night. As Oliver nearly had her 4th assist of the night there, but Hunter just not able to finish. Now Brogan working on Melton. Kicks out to Kaiser. Kaiser for 2, short off the rim. And the Vikings here a chance to make this a 2-possession game. Lewis for 2, it's good. And this is now the Vikings' largest lead of the night as they lead the Thunder 38-33. This is eerily similar to what happened last game. We were just talking about it. The Vikings were able to pull away with their superior defense. Hunter finds Oliver. Oliver puts it up, and she's fouled.
Yeah, right now the answer, excuse me, man, it's gonna be a night. Wheaton has no answer to Tia Lewis right now.
And on that play, a nice set design from the Thunder. You saw Lauren Ham setting a screen on Audrey Erickson, who was guarding Oliver, and that allowed Oliver to get open for that layup. Mentioned earlier, in the first half, Oliver has gotten to the line over 100 times this season. Next closest person on the Thunder is Jenna Hunter, who's gotten to the line 37 times. So Oliver very aggressive in getting to the rim. She hits both those free throws, brings this back to a 1-score game. Now we have Petra Trumbach coming in for the Thunder, replacing Grace Kaiser. Lily Cato also in, replacing Lydia Brogan. Now the Vikings looking to get inside. They got their dynamic duo of Pepes and Lewis in here. And that ball is tapped away. Hunter's going to dive, get possession, and it's going to get out to Oliver. Now the 3-and-1 fast break for the Thunder. Oliver is going to do it herself and lay it in.
Oh my goodness, the crazy basketball happening right here, folks.
And Lewis behind the back is going to throw it, try to find her teammates, but the Vikings get it. Now Lewis puts up the jumper short off the rim. Oliver pulls down the rebound. And some solid defense from the Thunder as they've now created 14 turnovers. And Oliver's going to drive. She's going to put it up. It's blocked by Pepes. Pepes is having a dominant night defensively. 8 rebounds, 3 blocks.
Yeah, really nice job by Pepes. I mean, it feels like Oliver is just putting the team on her shoulders right now, which I don't think she has to do. I think she can pass the ball a tiny bit more. But, I mean, I love the aggressiveness from Kate.
Oliver finds Hunter, but that's going to be a moving screen call on Lauren Ham. The jumper wouldn't have been good anyway, but it looks like Ham was moving a little too much as she set that screen, and that's probably the correct call.
Yeah, I don't even know if she really was trying to set a screen and Pepes just ran into her, because I don't think Ham was fully set for that. And Pepes stands almost a foot taller than her. Unfortunate for Wheaton.
Tatum's going to find Lewis, but immediately double teamed. A very quick jump ball called. It's going to retain, the Vikings are going to retain possession, that is.
Good job.
We got Brogan coming in for Oliver. Oliver with a much needed break here. as Tatum was trying to find Pepez. Got a little out of control, and they're going to get a foul on Lily Cato. And that should send the Vikings to the line. It looks like that'll be Audrey Erickson.
Yeah, that's a hard call. I mean, she's clearly going for the ball and unfortunately just knocks Erickson kind of out of the way. I would personally think that she's very clearly going for the ball, but I mean, I understand. It's a physical play.
Erickson having a bit of a quiet night. She's the second leading scorer on this Vikings team, but with that free throw made, puts her on 4 for the night. She's scored in double digits 12 times this season. Shoots 43% from the field, 34% from 3. She leads the team in steals with 37 and also in three-pointers with 23. Pass inside to Cato. Almost lost control, and that's going to be a foul on Tia Lewis. Nice sportsmanship from there from Lewis, helping Brogan up. And now the Thunder will be shooting free throws here, both teams in the bonus.
Yeah, Lewis is doing a great sport, pulling Brogan up, who yelled out a woo, getting that call. Don't think she's too hurt about that one.
Brogan knocks down the first. Has the potential, if she hits this next free throw, to tie her career high in points. And knocks it down. And that brings the Thunder back within 1 in this back and forth battle. Neither team quite able to gain an advantage here. It's the Vikings setting up their half-court offense. The 3 from Melton, nothing but net. As Melton had no hesitation in pulling that 3. And Augustana, not a team that's particularly known for shooting the 3-ball. They only shoot 29% on the season, and they're last in the second to last in the CCW in 3 attempts per game. They only make 5 per game, but they're shooting 2 for 4 tonight. Not high quantity, but high quality.
Yeah, gotta love that hustle from Trumbach. Obviously not the best shot by her, but she still chased that rebound down.
And now Brogan finds Hunter. Hunter puts it up and off the glass. A tough finish from Jenna Hunter. And it's a steal now from Trumbach as the Vikings were trying to push that up, but then Trumbach throws it away over the head of Lauren Ham.
Brogan consoling Trumbach on that one, who looks like she wants to take that one back just a hair too high above Ham's head. Great idea. You want Wheaton pushing that gas, but you got to be a little careful with these turnovers.
And that's part of what's kept the Thunder in this game. In that first half, they had 8 fast break points. Augustana, that is on the other hand, had 0. And Trumbach almost pokes that away, but Melton retains possession, puts it up with the layup. The left-handed finish is good from Melton. Melton now with 10 points on the night. Now the Thunder looking to respond, down 4. Minute left to go in the third quarter. Ham calls for a screen from Hunter. Ham pulls up the long 2-pointer and knocks it down. What else would you expect from someone who's shooting 3 for 4 from 3 tonight? Now 11 points for Ham and a clutch shot to bring this win to 1-score game as Milazzo with a nice rip-through move, but the finish is no good. The ball is tipped to Cato. Now the Thunder, with about a 9-second difference between shot clock and game clock, have a chance to tie this up. It was tied going into halftime. Augustana's had a slight lead this whole quarter. Now Cato posts up, tries to finish, and does. A nice pump fake and spin on Sierra Hull, and that ties this game back up at 45. And it looks like that's going to be a foul on Jenna Hunter. Oh, correction, it's a double foul. One on Jenna Hunter and one on Callie Pepez, as both of them were getting a little physical down there. So the end result of that is nothing happens, and the Vikings are going to inbound the ball.
but that is a third foul on Callie Pepez.
It's not so bad for Hunter. That's only her first foul, but now the Vikings with Tia Lewis, Callie Pepez, and Jasmariah Jones all with 3 fouls. Erickson working on Cato. Erickson spins, puts it up. And Cato a little frustrated there. Didn't think that merited a foul. Wasn't even called by the correct ref. Usually the ref down the baseline is supposed to call those fouls since that's their area of vision.
Yeah, a little hard to see from our view, but yeah, Cato is not happy with that call.
Now Erickson heads the line. The Vikings quite accurate from the free throw line tonight. They're shooting 11 for 12. Quite a good mark for a team that usually only shoots 69%. And now Ham's gonna try to put this up before the period ends. Gets it up a little late, and now the Vikings carry a 2-point lead into this fourth quarter. And Stephanie, this has been an action-packed game, tug of war. Neither teams can gain an advantage. What do you think the Thunder can do here to maybe gain a little advantage over Augustana?
They seemed a little bit more sloppy. Which, okay, maybe that just was perception because they only went up from 3 turnovers. But from going from zero turnovers in the first quarter to 3 and 1, I mean, I'm being a little picky here, but this is a must-win game for Wheaton. So I think if they can limit those turnovers and generate a little bit more offense, a little bit more movement, I think they can do it. What do you think, Drew?
Of course, you look at those stats here from these first 3 quarters. Augustana is clearly out shooting the Thunder in terms of percentage, but the Thunder have been more aggressive in getting to the free throw line and also creating those turnovers. As you can see there, Vikings have turned over 15 times compared to the Thunder's 7. And you look at Augustana, of course, they have the best defense, like in terms of field goal percentage in the CCIW. Teams only shoot 37% against the Vikings, and so far tonight the Thunder are no exception. They're only shooting 36%. And of course the Thunder are the worst field goal shooting team in the CCIW, so in terms of those stats, everything is going according to plan, but you gotta admire how the Thunder's scrappiness of getting to the free throw line and kind of having an answer for everything the Vikings send their way has kept them in this game so far.
Yeah, this is going to be an intense 10 minutes, Drew. I don't know if my heart rate is going to drop below 100 beats per minute. So get ready, folks. Lock in. Put on those seatbelts because it's going to be a wild ride.
And as we've mentioned, if the Thunder lose this game, it effectively eliminates them from the CCIW tournament. Not completely, but they'd be 2 games behind Augustana with only 3 games left to go in the schedule. As Cato here gets it to Hunter. Hunter for the jumper, short off the rim, but she's able to get her own offensive rebound, put it back up, and is fouled on the jumper by Julia Milazzo.
Yeah, another thing I'd like to see them improve on is those free throws. They're only shooting about 71%. And every point in this game matters. Every point, every possession.
And Hunter, one of the Thunder's leading scorers this season, averaging 8.9 points per game, as well as 4.5 rebounds and shooting 47% from the field. But tonight she only has 5 as she misses that second free throw. Puts the Thunder at 11 for 16 now from the line so far tonight. And now the Vikings up by 1, looking to get back into the swing of things on offense. Melt into Hull. Hull's gonna drive, but it's blocked by Brogan. Brogan wasn't giving up anything there as Hull thought she had a layup, but Brogan rejecting that out of bounds. 9 seconds left on the shot clock for the Vikings. And Milazzo stepped out of bounds there on the edge line. Yet another turnover for the Vikings, and now the Thunder here with a chance to take the lead for the first time this half. The Vikings have been leading most of the half, but the Thunder have never been further back than 5 points as Oliver feeling it from 2. No good, off the mark. But the offensive rebound pulled on by Cato. another offensive rebound on consecutive possession here, and that's going to be a travel, her second travel of the game on Caddo.
Oh, that was so tough. Called for it, and I think just...
And it looks like that was just a little hop
Yeah,
step
a little
before she
hop.
put the ball down. But there goes that chance, and now the Vikings back on offense. Hole to Tatum, to Melton. They're looking to find Lewis inside, but Hunter fronting Lewis. Now Lewis in the corner, looking, driving, goes for the reverse layup, and it's good. That's the second time Lewis has been able to do that, drive by that baseline and get a reverse layup. And she's got 14 on the night.
Yeah, no, she has just been lighting up that inside honestly, all this second half.
Now Hunter looking to drive, but stopped by Lewis. 10 on the shot clock. Brogan gets it to Oliver. Brogan's gonna set Oliver a screen. Oliver working on Hole, puts it up, a tough shot. Not quite, but Trumbach another offensive rebound. That's the Thunder's third in a row in 3 consecutive possessions. Now Brogan's gonna kick it out to Caddo. Caddo for 3, off. The rebound pulled down by Tatum. The Thunder are gonna try to trap her. Tatum, though, able to get the ball to Milazzo, and now a bit of a fast break. Not quite, though, as the Thunder able to get back. Milazzo puts up the layup, and it's good, as this is now the Vikings tied for largest lead of the game. As they have a 5-point lead, and it's up the Thunder now to respond in the midst of this adversity. Oliver drives on Melton with the tough left-handed finish right under the arms of Melton, and solid defense from Melton, but Oliver able to have a creative finish there, and Lewis with a fadeaway jumper knocks it down. Lewis has been automatic with those turnaround jumpers tonight, shooting 8 for 11 from the line, 16.7 rebounds. Certainly the key factor for the Vikings tonight. Oliver finds Caddo. Caddo wide open for 3. Long. The rebound pulled down by Melton. Now the Vikings with the chance to extend what has been their largest lead of the night multiple times of 5. Milazzo finds Lewis. Lewis contested by Hunter, so no shot. Milazzo drives, puts it up, no good. Milazzo had an empty lane and an open look at the basket, but unable to finish. Now Oliver is going to drive, find Caddo cutting along the baseline, and Caddo able to finish. Oliver able to create a nice opportunity for Caddo there. 14 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals for Oliver, having a great all-around game. And timeout called by the Vikings, and you look at the Vikings coach, Mark Beinborn. He's been a key factor in turning this Vikings program around. This is his 14th season, and in 2016 to 2017, he led this team to their first time finishing above 500 in the standings since 2003 to 2004. So they had a 13-year streak where they were below 500, and Beinborn was kind of one of the main factors in turning that around. And they also won their first postseason game in 2019, which was their first one since 1990. Recently, Augustana last year was 10-15 with 6-10 conference record, but the 2 years before that, in 2022, they were 19-9, and they lost in the CCIW championship. And then 2 years ago, 2023, they lost to Illinois Wesleyan in the semifinals. So they're hoping to turn things around this year, get back into the tournament, but they're facing a tough test right now in the Thunder.
Yeah. Drew, I also think Augustana has had actually a really nice half. They're forcing Wheaton to take tougher shots around the key area, and then Wheaton just has had no answer to Tia Lewis tonight. Kate Oliver, though, is doing her best, almost matching her stride for stride, but they're going to just need a little extra push from either Oliver or someone else to close that 3-point gap in 6 minutes and counting.
Augustana having a nice shooting night, shooting 47% from the field, 50% from 3, and 91% from the free throw line. Those are NBA or WNBA level shooting splits, and the three from Audrey Erickson. That's her second three of the night. And now the Vikings extending their lead to 6 as the Thunder need to find a way to get back into it. Brogan gets it to Ham. Ham with a pump fake. Drive, finish, and one. Lauren Ham with a tough play. Just a fundamental pump fake, drive, rip through, drawing the contact, and finishing. And Ham now has set her career high in points with 14, and it couldn't have come at a more crucial time as it brings the Thunder within 3. Now Pepez posting up, has the size advantage over Kaiser with the left-handed hook short off the rim. Trumback pulls down the rebound, swings it to Oliver. Oliver is going to work on hole, but decided to pull back out. Now Oliver on the cut. Ham decides not. Nothing there. Almost a turnover, but Brogan able to get that one. 10 on the shot clock. Oliver working on Pepez. Pulls up for the jumper. Knocks it down. Oliver pulling up in the face of the 6'3" Callie Pepez. That's 16 points for Oliver. And now the Thunder have brought a 6-point deficit back to within 1. The Vikings just can't seem to find a way to pull away, as now Pepez is doubled there. It's going to be a foul called on Kaiser. Smart move by Ham coming over to double, but not too sure what the foul there was, but either way, Pepez will go to the line. Talk about Wheaton's coach, Kent Madsen. We've talked about Mark Beinborn, Augustana's coach. Madsen has a career record of 281 and 111 as a head coach, which is the second highest winning percentage in CCIW women's basketball coach history. He's a 6-time CCIW Coach of the Year, going to his 16th year as head coach. And of course, last year, Wheaton was able to have a 9-7 conference record, made it to the semifinals of the CCIW tournament before they lost to Elmhurst. And 2 years ago in 2023, it was the last time the first time they had finished under 500 since the 2007-2008 season. So, program in a bit of a rebuild right now, but it's in good hands under Kent Madsen. And now with 4.5 minutes left to go, the Thunder down by 1. Stephanie, do you think the Thunder should press here to try to maybe create some more turnovers out in the Vikings?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Vikings have just been making their shots, quite honestly. The Vikings have been limiting their turnovers. I think some of the takeaways that they had in the first half and even the third quarter were just errant passes on their part. And so they've really cleaned that up well, forcing Wheaton to play really tough defense. And without Jenna Hunter in the game right now and Grace Kaiser playing post on Callie Pepez, it's going to be a challenge for Grace.
Pepez knocks down that first free throw. Pepez is shooting 80% from the free throw line this year. Pretty decent shooter. Knocks down the second as well. And so the key, you mentioned defense, the Thunder have actually out-rebounded the Vikings in this half so far, 13-11. And part of that's been with offensive rebounds, but at the same time, the Vikings have the best rebounding margin in the CCIW, so it's been impressive for the Thunder to be able to do that. And that ball almost went out of bounds, but Brogan is able to find Kaiser in the back cut, but rejected by Lewis. That's Lewis's third block of the night. Now Erickson hit 2 threes already. She's going to kick it out. The three is good. That was Paige Melton with her second three of the evening. She's now at 15 points on the night. And it seems like every time the Thunder come close to taking the lead from the Vikings respond with the three. And Trumbach, almost an and one, but able to work her way through the contact and get to the free throw line.
Yeah, Augustana bench wants a travel call on her, but you are allowed, 2.5 steps with a Euro step in there, so I think Trumbach got that one in.
I do believe that was a clean 2 steps, but now Lewis with that foul there has 4. She stays in the game, however. Trumbuck knocks down the first free throw.
I mean, I agree with that call from the Augustana coach. I think with just over 3.5 minutes left, you need her in there.
Trumbuck, though, misses the second. That puts the Thunder at 12 for 18, or rather 13 for 19 from the free throw line, including that first one that Trumbuck made. And the drive is no good from Cadence Tatum. The Thunder able to come down with the rebound. Oliver now looking up court. 3:20 left to go. The Thunder down 5. They're going to need some quick buckets here, as there's not much time left. Oliver's going to pull it from 3. It's off and to the right. And that's been one of the key differences between these two teams. The Vikings have only shot the 3 ball 6 times so far, but they've made 4 of those threes, while the Thunder are shooting a mere 3 for 14 from 3, which is just an inefficient number. And the Thunder here now in a full court press. The Vikings, though, able to break it. Audrey Erickson has a bit of an advantage, finds Lewis for the jumper. It rattles out. Trumbuck pulls down the rebound. Less than 3 minutes left to go. Oliver finds Ham, guarded tightly by Melton as Ham has hit 3 3-pointers. Surely Coach Beinborn from the Vikings has made sure that they should guard her pretty tightly, and Brogan with a drive, but the finish is off the mark. An open opportunity for Brogan, but...
Yeah, and I think she had a look at the 3 from the top of the key, and I really wanted her to take it because Wheaton has not made very many threes in the second half, and I think that's really what's separating them from Augustana right now.
Now the Thunder need to stop. They're looking inside for Pepez, but Hunter able to front her. She's been doing a great job doing that in post all game. Audrey Erickson drives, blocked by Oliver. It's going to be out of bounds on the Thunder with only 7 seconds left on the shot clock.
Yeah, good recovery by Kate there. Hunter just unable to corral that ball. This is going to be a key stop for Wheaton. They're down by 5, but they still have time.
And a made shot here from the Vikings makes this a 3-possession game. However, a stop from the Thunder would make it only 2. It's inbounded to Pepez. Pepez picks up her dribble, gets it out to Erickson. Erickson has nowhere to go, and that's going to be a shot clock violation. The Vikings' 17th turnover of the game, twice as many as the Thunder. And now the Thunder got that critical stop. Now they need a critical bucket.
Yeah, they do, Drew. Don't think I'm fully breathing right now, but...
Set play for Ham, but unable to find an open look, and Ham puts it up, but is fouled. That'll send her to the free throw line with a chance to make this a 1-possession game. Again, a nice pump fake from Ham, getting number 13, Cadence Tatum, off her feet.
Yeah.
Such a close game. You need to make free throws. The Thunder 13 for 19 so far tonight. They've missed 6. Make that 7 as Ham is off the mark with that one. Ham hits the second one, though. Substitution for Augustana. Julia Milazzo coming in for Cadence Tatum. Now the Thunder in a full court 1-2-1 press. 1-2-1-1, that is. Erickson drives. Gets it to Pepez. Pepez posts up. Puts it up. I don't know how that got up to the rim, but it did, but no good. Oliver pulls down the rebound. Pushing in transition, and she slips. That looked painful, but now Milazzo, that is, up in the layup, and she lays it home. An unfortunate turnover from Oliver as her momentum just carried her a little too far. Timeout called by Mark Beinborn, and now the Thunder not in such a good situation. Down 6 with 90 seconds left to go, and do you need a 2 or a 3 here?
I mean, Augustana has been closing out around the arc really well. You can tell every time Lauren Ham wants that ball, she wants to throw a 3 up there. I think you just need buckets at this point, Drew. Oh, my bad. Yeah, you're down by 6. Your defense is hanging in there. Really unfortunate that Kate slipped over there. Might have been called for a travel, but I mean, still, it was a turnover by her trying to make sure she didn't travel, but I think you call up a play where you can just get points really fast.
And of course, the Thunder have been doing a good job at forcing turnovers, so maybe they only need 2 points here, then a chance to force a turnover on that press. But if you're just recently tuning in, the Thunder, if they win this game, they tie Augustana's conference record, and the Thunder do have the tiebreaker. So that would, at least for the moment, with 3 games left in the regular season, put them in that 6th position in the CCIW. And as we've already mentioned, the Thunder have an easier schedule. They play Illinois Wesleyan, as does Augustana, but then the Thunder play Milken and North Park, who are sitting at the bottom of the CCIW right now, while Augustana has to play Elmhurst and Carthage, I believe, along with Illinois Wesleyan.
Sorry, Drew. Oh my goodness, it's been a bit of a rough game for me to call. Excuse me, guys. They brought in Chloe Koska, who has made the most threes on Wheaton's team, which I think, to answer your question, Drew, I think they're trying to draw up a play for either her or Lauren Ham. Obviously, Callie Pepez is pointing at both of them. She knows that might be the play Wheaton's calling, so we'll see what happens.
That's some good analysis there. Koska, as you mentioned, the leading three-point shooter on this Thunder team. Oliver posts up, finds Koska. The pass is tipped, but Koska puts up anyway and knocks it down.
She made that with the hand in her face. Oh my goodness.
Koska with a very intense closeout, but still able to bang that one home. And now with a minute left, the Thunder got their 3 points to make this a one-possession game. Now they need to stop. Audrey Erickson gets it to Jasmariah Jones. Back to Erickson. It's the Thunder playing some intense defense. Erickson tried to go behind the back, intentionally or unintentionally, I can't really tell, but either way, tipped out of bounds. 6 seconds left on the shot clock.
Oh my goodness, almost. Hey, Koska came off, but she did her job. She hit a 3 with a girl in her face to bring this down to a 3-point game. Augustana 63, Wheaton 60.
Now the inbounds pass to Melton. 3 in this clock shot. Melton can't find anyone. Finds Pepez, and that's going to be a shot clock violation. As Pepez unable to gain control, timeout called by Kent Madsen. And some life injected into King Arena and this Thunder squad as that three-pointer from Chloe Koska pulled this game back to within 3, 43.9 seconds left. And the Thunder actually are not in a bonus situation right now. They've only fouled Augustana once this quarter, so they would have to foul several times to get into a bonus, but they definitely don't need to go for 3 here.
Yeah, you say that they don't have to go for 3, but I wonder if they just put Koska back in.
I don't think it's a bad idea. With Koska and Ham in, Ham has been on fire tonight, shooting 3 for 5 from 3, which is the most three-pointers out of anyone in the contest tonight. They could certainly draw up some design play where they set a screen for one of those 2 players in the corner. And of course, Augustana, their defense has been one of their stronger points about their team this season. They're first in the conference in field goal percentage defense. They only give up 36.9%. They also have allowed the least points in the conference per game. They only give up 59.6, which rounds up to 60, which is the exact amount the Thunder have got. But the Thunder need 3 more to tie this game up, save their season potentially, and send it to overtime, send this game to overtime.
Oh my goodness, Drew. when we thought it was going down to the wire, I don't think it was going to go down this much to the wire, but hey, it's a fun game to call. They're going to be inbounding it right next to our table. Lydia Brogan going to inbound the ball. Chloe Koska's back out there with Lauren Ham. Looks like another set play for Koska.
Koska has it. Gets it to Ham. Ham heavily guarded by Hull. Ham drives, but it's no good. Hull comes down with the rebound. Fouled is Audrey Erickson. And that was a tough shot attempt by Ham. That was a nice behind-the-back move, but just a little bit out of control there. It seems like the Thunder could have perhaps got a better quality shot on that play.
Yeah, really good defense there by Augustana, because Koska had nowhere to shoot, and neither did Ham. Unfortunately, it felt like once that happened, Wheaton's set play had nowhere to go. But this is a key defensive stop right here.
Tipped by Oliver, but it gets back to Lewis. and that's going to be a foul called, and Oliver has been able to do that several times tonight, tip the inbounds pass, and that could have led to the possession the Thunder needed. As you see Oliver, just such length, tipping that ball. Lewis fouled there. That's 3 team fouls for the Thunder now, meaning 2 more fouls gets the Vikings to the bonus. Timeout called by Mark Beinborn, coach for the Vikings.
Yeah, that's their last timeout. Oh my goodness, Drew. What a game for Wheaton College right now. Trying to match the Vikings' 63 points. Unfortunately, that last possession we saw, the drawn-up play did not go their way, and they were unable to score even a bucket. So they're still down by 3.
And if you're Coach Mike Beinborn, you're probably working on 2 things. First, you're working on maybe a better inbounds play because the Thunder almost able to take that one away. And second of all, you're trying to get the ball, if you're coach, to one of your better free throw shooters. Like, for example, Callie Pape is shooting 80% from the line. Paige Melton, on the other hand, is an example of someone who's not shooting as well. So in a situation like this, you want to inbound it to one of your better free throw shooters. The Vikings will get to inbound it here on their own side of the court. So that's the timeout rule in the NCAA. First showed up in the NBA, now is in the NCAA. Tia Lewis to inbound. Oliver falls down, gets it to Erickson. Erickson immediately fouled, but that's not the foul that counts, as the Vikings are now 1 foul away from getting to the free throw line. A little bit of confusion of how many fouls there were, but referees sorted out. And now Lewis to inbound. Looking, finds Pepez, and Pepez is fouled. As I just mentioned, she's the Vikings' best free throw shooter, so this is a great scenario for the Vikings as she heads to the line with a chance to put this game up 5. She's also shooting 4 for 4 from the line tonight. The free throw from Pepez, the first one falls. Augustana, when you look at the end of this game, no matter who wins or who loses, the free throw differential is really standing out as Augustana 14 for 15 from the free throw line. Make that 15 for 16, as opposed to the Thunder only shooting 14 for 21. And Kent Madsen, coach of the Thunder, just called a timeout. 27 seconds left, Thunder down 5. And at this point, Stephanie, the Thunder pretty much needed 3.
I think so, and I think they need to draw up a play quickly and one that they can play off really well. Like I said again, on that last one, they were just unable, once Koska gave up the ball to Ham and there was no 3-point shot, it felt like Ham, I don't want to say panic, but she had to sort of force a shot that just unfortunately didn't quite go in there. So we'll see what Coach Madsen has up his sleeve, and hopefully Wheaton can pull this game within 2.
Absolutely, and if you're just tuning in, the storyline of this game so far, the Vikings have been much better shooting. They've had much better efficient shooting. They're shooting 45% from the field, 66% from 3, 4 for 6, 93% from the free throw line. The only thing that's keeping the Thunder in this game really is the fact that the Vikings have turned the ball over twice as many times as the Thunder. It's giving the Thunder a lot of extra possessions to make up for their lack of shooting efficiency. Ball's inbound to Ham, but Ham was out of bounds. Absolutely brutal turnover. Could not have come at a worse time for the Thunder.
Yeah, once again, Augustana's defense showing up when it matters in this last minute of the game. We'll see what Wheaton can do.
The inbound pan from Lewis. Oh, that hits off the foot of Pepez, but picked up by Erickson. Erickson now is fouled. And a chance for the Thunder, but the loose ball just wasn't in the general vicinity of any of the Thunder players on the floor. And now Erickson heads to the line. She's a 67% free throw shooter during the season, but 4 for 4 tonight.
Yeah, just unfortunate, Drew. Oliver has had almost 2 takeaways, and Erickson missed her first free throw. That's pretty key right here, because trying to keep that to just a 5-point game. But
gives the Thunder a little bit of hope, as making both those free throws would have made this a 3-possession game. And that's short for Erickson, and now the Thunder have got to hurry. 20 seconds left, down 5. Oliver trying to make something happen here. Kicks out to Koska. Koska for 3. Oh! It rattles home. And the Vikings quick to inbound, and Erickson is fouled. She just missed 2 free throws, and Koska has hit her second critical 3 from that corner, and that just gave some new life to this game.
Oh my goodness, Chloe Koska. I don't know what to say. These free throws here are key. If she makes only one, it's still a 3-point game. If she makes none of them, it's a 2-point game. If she makes both of them, then it goes back up to 4 points. Wheaton still does have a timeout, though, to drop a play if they want.
Absolutely. If Erickson makes this free throw, you can expect there'll be a timeout from Madsen to set up a play. The free throw is good, which put the Vikings up 4. Now the Thunder are going to have a chance to inbound the ball on their side, down 4 with 10 seconds left to go. And how about Chloe Koska? I mean, 2 clutch threes with intense closeouts and still able to rattle those home. And unfortunately, though, the Thunder percentage chances not looking good, as they have to score twice and hope that the next Vikings player to get to the free throw line misses her free throws.
Yeah, and they are out of timeouts, meaning if someone did miss a free throw, they'd have to sprint all the way back down the court in, I'd probably guess, less than 5 seconds. So Erickson making 2 very key free throws for Augustana, but I mean, as we saw, Koska has some magic up her sleeves right now, and we'll see what Wheaton can do.
And Koska's back in the game, but I almost have to wonder if the Vikings are expecting the ball to go to Koska, so maybe the Thunder might try to get this to Lauren Ham or Kate Oliver here. Ham, of course, is 3 for 5 from beyond the arc tonight. Oliver, and a screen for Koska. She's wide open. She pulls a 3. Bang! Chloe Koska has just made this game a 1-point game, and Audrey Erickson is fouled. Chloe Koska, 3 for 3 from 3. All of these threes coming in the 4th quarter.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Chloe Koska is saying, not tonight, Augustana. I'm going to make you work for every single point. Goodness gracious.
And you take a look at the replay there, just a defensive miscommunication from the Vikings. And that was critical because Koska was the one person they couldn't allow to be wide open from beyond the 3-point line.
I know. Once again, key free throws by Erickson. Augustana did a good job by getting the ball to her to shoot free throws. This one's going to be a big one.
No timeouts for the Thunder. That one's off. 5 seconds left. The Thunder have got to push it up the floor. And that's a foul on Audrey Erickson. That'll send Kate Oliver to the free throw line. Couldn't have given the Thunder an easier way to get 2 points. But now all the pressure is on Kate Oliver, the leader of this Thunder squad, to hit both of these free throws and tie it up, potentially send it into overtime. The Vikings have no timeout, so they'll be inbounding the ball on the opposite side of the court with 2.5 seconds left. Oliver, cool, collected, knocks down the first free throw. The second one is good, as the Thunder somehow have tied this game up. 2.5 seconds left for the Vikings. Stormed by Hunter. Hunter puts it up, and it's off. As the shot from Hunter could have won the game, but instead we will go to overtime. But
oh my goodness, Drew.
I cannot believe this game is even overtime right now, much less the fact that Thunder had a chance to win the game right there.
I know. Props to Jenna Hunter. We gotta watch this replay. Kate Oliver just making 2 spectacular free throws. Jenna Hunter. Yeah, I mean, she had a good look. She had a good look. Might have rushed that shot, but she had less than 2 seconds to make that shot. I'm standing up, everybody. Oh my goodness. We have a game in Wheaton.
And of course, we have to credit Kate Oliver, the leader of this Wheaton squad. She's a senior. Maybe it's been a tough season. You usually, as a senior, you know, you want your team to be winning, and the Thunder haven't done that as much this season, but she's been the leader of this team and hitting both those free throws. Game on the line, pretty much the season on the line.
Yeah.
That's just awesome to see.
Yes, for sure. Kate Oliver has also scored 18 points. It hasn't honestly felt like that, but goodness gracious. And she is a wonderful human being. We share a class together, and she always lets me bother her about the basketball game. And so she said, hey, they're ready tonight, and they proved that they are. There will be 5 minutes of overtime.
And let's just take a look at that sequence of events. Augustana was up by 5 with 27 seconds left, and then Chloe Koska hit a 3 with 12 seconds left. The Vikings hit 2 free throws to give their lead at 4. Then Chloe Koska hit another 3 with 7 seconds. And we have that tip from overtime here. I'll explain the rest of it later as we get back into action here in overtime with Audrey Erickson at the point guard. She missed some critical free throws, unfortunately for the Vikings, and now this game going into overtime as the Thunder refused to quit. The Vikings had the lead pretty much the entire second half as a nice cut from Erickson and a pass from Lewis, but that ball is rejected by a couple of Thunder players. Hunter gets it to Trumbach. Trumbach puts it up, and it's off the glass and in. This is the Thunder's first lead since they had a 26-25 lead in the second quarter. It's been a long time, but now in overtime, the Thunder have all the momentum as the Vikings trying to get some of the momentum back. Lewis posts up with a fadeaway jumper, short off the rim. She hasn't missed one of those all game. That's the first fadeaway jumper that she's missed. Oliver finds Ham. Ham for 3. Nothing but net. A wide open Lauren Ham knocks down her 4th 3 of the game. The crowd is going wild as the Thunder have all the momentum, and a nice play though from Jasmine Jones and the pass from Audrey Erickson on the back cut. And you can't let up now if you're the Thunder. You got to focus in on defense. The Vikings also have not given up this entire game. And a nice offensive play to kind of stem that momentum and maybe get things going for the Vikings a little bit. Now Oliver drives, lays it up, and it's good. Slicing and dicing through the traffic, weaving into the lane for the left-handed layup. That's 18 points in the night for Oliver. If you're just tuning in now, she hit 2 free throws to tie this game to send into overtime with 2 seconds left. Here's Melton driving, puts it up, fouled by Jenna Hunter. The shot's no good, but Melton with 15 points on the night, 3 for 3 from the line, will go to the line to chance to bring this game within 1 possession.
Trumbach and Hunter have to watch their fouls. They both have 4 each, and a couple of them were forced because they needed to get Augustana to the line in regulation.
And going back to that that sequence of the last 10 seconds, the Vikings were up 4 with 10 seconds left to go, but then Chloe Koska hit a 3 off a design play, and then the Vikings got fouled, made the first free throw, missed the second, and then Kate Oliver was fouled. She knocked down both free throws with 2 seconds left to tie the game up, and the Thunder had a chance to win on a Jenna Hunter steal off the press. And Ham for 3, no good. Quick to pull the trigger there as she's been shooting well. The Thunder think it went off the Vikings, but referee says otherwise. Now the Vikings down 3. Jasmine Jones for 3, short. Rebound pulled down by Lydia Brogan.
Every possession matters in this game, and we just had some fans come into King Arena having no idea what they've just missed.
Oliver with the spin move rejected by a combination of Jasmine Jones and Tia Lewis. Jump ball, position arrow, going with the Thunder.
I mean, beautiful block. But, I mean, props to both teams. Both teams are fighting so hard. Anytime that ball is on the ground, 2 people are going to go diving for it.
Now the inbounds play. Oliver's not open, so ball goes to Hunter. Trumbach looking, gets it to Ham. Ham pulls the 3, off the rim. Her second missed 3 of that possession. Now Jasmine Jones to Tatum, to Lewis. Lewis with a pump fake. Gets it to Pepez. Nice passing from the Vikings. Nice ball movement. That's Melton for 2. No good. Pepez almost pulls down the offensive rebound. Brogan able to get it. That's going to be a jump ball call. Just had a jump ball go for the Thunder, so this is going the Vikings' way.
Hey, props to Brogan for staying down, trying to grab that ball. Pepez is a senior. Brogan's just a freshman.
And Pepes, of course, 3 offensive rebounds per game, leads the CCIW. Some fluid ball movement from the Vikings in that last possession as Lewis and Pepes, dynamic duo trying to work together. Lewis for 2, no good. Oliver pulls down the rebound. Oliver, 20 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. An extremely impressive game from this Thunder senior fighting to try to keep her team in this season. Now he's going to pull up for 3. Her foot's on the line, knocks it down. That's only going to be 2 points because her foot was on the line. But what a shot from Oliver, having the confidence to step up, knock down that shot that gives the Thunder a 5-point lead, their largest lead since early on in the second quarter when they're up 26-20.
Yeah, Oliver doesn't shoot the 3 ball spectacularly well, definitely under 30%, but man, what confidence for her.
Tia Lewis for 3, long off the rim, rebound pulled down by Brogan, up to Ham. Ham almost loses it, but retains possession. Now the Thunder can run out this shot clock. If they run out this shot clock all the way, there'll be 43 seconds left. They don't need to do anything here.
I mean, yeah, but you definitely want points here though, Drew.
Hunter and Brogan set up for potential screens. Oliver dribbling, 8 in the shot clock. Oliver trying to create space. Finds Petra Trumbach on the back cut, and Trumbach lays it in. The court vision from Kate Oliver. No one was expecting it. And now the Thunder up 7, their largest lead of the game in overtime. They have all the momentum. And now the Vikings, Jasper Jones for 3, off. Hunter pulls down the rebound, gets it to Trumbach. And now Coach Mark Reinborn telling the Vikings to foul. Bit of a hard foul there from Cadence Tatum.
Oh my gosh, now it's just like this all over again 5 minutes later, Drew. Oh my goodness, the Wheaton bench erupted after Petra Trumbach made that play. Yeah, it's electric in here. It is electric.
And going back to that moment when the Vikings were up 65-60 with 20 seconds left, since then, in that 4th quarter and overtime, the Thunder have been a 19-7 run. Make that 20-7 as Lauren Ham knocks down that first free throw.
Yeah, Wheaton's up by 8.
And Lauren Ham easily her career high in points with 19 on the night. Some of those coming from 3-pointers. She's hit 4 3-pointers tonight. Now the Vikings desperately need to get something going. Pepes pulls the 3. That's her first attempted 3 of the entire season. No, I'm sorry. Her 6th. But it's short. And now the Thunder with an 8-point lead. Timeout called by Coach Ken Madsen. And Stephanie, it's looking pretty good for the Thunder right now. That was a dominant overtime performance.
Yeah, brilliant call by Coach Madsen with using their 1 timeout with 17 seconds left to bring the ball to their half of the court. Wheaton is up by 8, but of course, any points to just bring that lead even more would be wonderful. What a game we had tonight, Drew.
And Wheaton scored 23 points in that 4th quarter. A lot of those coming off Chloe Koska 3s. 9 of those points actually coming off Chloe Koska 3s. And the Thunder were really struggling from the field this whole game. But in this 4th quarter and overtime, they've scored 35 points. And they've raised their field goal percentage up to 40, their 3-point percentage up to 35. It was way lower than that the rest of the game. And they just caught fire and got momentum. And it's been really impressive to see.
For sure. But I mean, just because we saw what happened to Wheaton when they were able to close that gap, I just want to be extra cautious. Wheaton has to take care of this ball, and if they do get fouled, they have to make these free throws.
Anything can happen. Bigger comebacks have happened. But with the Thunder up 8 with 17 seconds left, they need a successful inbound here. Brogan finds Oliver. Foul by Sierra Hull as she was just holding on to the jersey there of Oliver. Now the referees are going to discuss whether that could potentially be an intentional foul, which would give Oliver a chance at the free throw line, plus a chance at possession. They'll get the possession, that is. And that's what the refs are going to rule, an intentional foul on Sierra Hull. Probably not a smart decision there.
I think they're calling a technical foul.
I think you're right. It was a technical foul there for the jersey hold, as that was pretty blatant. And Oliver, what a game she's had. About to hit 23 points, 7 for 9 from the line. Make that 8 for 10. 24 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals for Kate Oliver. A career performance from the senior out of Fairfax, Virginia. That's her season high and career high in points. And Brogan swings over to Ham. No foul called by the refs. And it looks like the Thunder are just going to be able to dribble this one out. Unless the Vikings decide to foul, which they're not. And the Thunder, with a miraculous home court victory, down late, came back thanks to some clutch shooting, and now have tied Augustana in the CCIW conference tournament standings, and against all odds have worked themselves back into the playoff position. Stephanie, what an incredible game.
Oh my goodness, Drew. I must have just been repeating myself all night. Amazing game. I mean, huge performance from Chloe Koska. 3 for 3 from downtown in the fourth quarter. But I mean, it's got to go to Kate Oliver. I mean, she just put the team on her back, making those 2 free throws, 24 points total. I mean, what a game did we just see. But hey, props to Augustana. They pushed Wheaton to their point, to the brink, and Wheaton was able to say, we can top that.
If we had a player of the game, it would surely be Kate Oliver, but you cannot underestimate Chloe Koska's 3 for 3 3-point shooting in the fourth quarter. Those were her only points to the game. That was really the only time she came in, but she came off the bench and helped her team to a victory. Augustana led for most of the game. They were up 5, 27 seconds left, and Chloe Koska hit a 3. Couple fouls later, Thunder down by 4, 7 seconds left. Chloe Koska hits another 3. And then the Vikings miss a free throw. Kate Oliver fouled with 2 seconds left, hits both free throws, and the Thunder with just a dominant overtime performance. And you look at the stats here.
Out-rebounded Augustana and had way less turnovers, which is so impressive. They're back Valentine's Day on Saturday at North Park, which hopefully will be a good game. And also just a quick shout out to all the family and people listening online. We just want to thank you guys so much for listening. Please keep listening because Wheaton College has just perhaps snuck into the playoffs.
And the Thunder in control of their own destiny now with 3 games to go in the regular season with a clutch win over the Augustana Vikings. I'm Drew Swiston alongside Stephanie Kishi. Thank you for joining us in the Wheaton Thunder Sports Network. We'll be back Saturday.